Good morning. It is 6 a.m. this beautiful Tuesday morning. I was supposed to have a 4-hour guide trip today that booked back in March. It is the middle of August right now. They bailed on me. I don't know, lost communications with them. So I thought about sleeping in this morning, and then I decided not to. I'm sure the lighting is horrible in here because it's early in the morning, the sun hasn't come up yet. But I am headed out by myself to go bass fishing on the Butler chain of lakes. There's a lot of schooling fish out there right now. They're a little difficult to catch here in the middle of the summer with 92-degree water temperatures. They're eating bait that is very tiny. Hopefully they'll school just like they have every morning. We have supposed to have a heat index of about 105 today, so I'm getting out real early. But let's go out to the Butler chain of lakes. I'm gonna fish for some schooling bass with a new technique that I learned. With a bait that's very popular right now, I'm just fishing it a little bit different than everybody else seems to be fishing it. So let's go see how this goes.
If you came to prove, there's no reason to prove.
Isn't it awesome when a trip books in March and is all excited about it, and the time comes and you can't get a hold of them? Uh-oh.
4 days flat a year ago in June.
Oh.
And then never showed up. 4
Yep.
days. You gonna go without it?
Yeah, I mean, there's no way I would have had 2 months, so I'm Alright, so I am out here on the Butler chain of lakes. Like I said earlier, I was supposed to have a guide trip today. They bailed on me at the last second. They disappeared. I don't know where they're at. So I'm gonna do a how I do it video. This is the Duo Realis Spybait. There's a ton of videos out there on how to fish the Duo Realis Spybait. It's a very popular bait, came out 3 or 4 years ago. I don't have that much experience with it. I watched a ton of videos on how to fish it. Basically all of them said, you know, light line, 6-8 pound test fluorocarbon, slow rolling it, counting it down. I've tried all that. I've caught several fish doing that, but the way I've been able to catch them best lately, I didn't see any videos on it. So I decided to do a how-to or a how I do it video. I'm not saying this is the right way because I definitely haven't seen anybody else doing it, but this is how I fish the Duo Realis Spybait. I did see a few videos with the Spybait on ripping it under the water with you know, a stop and go type of retrieve or jerking it. And like I said, I've caught a few doing that, but the way I've been able to catch them the best lately is burning it on top of the water like it's a top water plug. And when I say burning it, I mean you're throwing it out there and reeling it in as fast as you can, just like you made a bad cast and you need to recast. I've got it on my 7-foot, 1-inch medium heavy 13 fishing Fate black rod with one of the new Source X reels with 15-pound test braided line and 15-pound test fluorocarbon leader. All right, let's see if we can find some schooling fish. Make a long cast, hits the water, and I am burning it on the surface. Bigger fish that blow up out here every once in a while, but most of them are kind of small. Make a long cast, just like that. Just, oh, I lost him. Come on. That was a decent fish. See if they're still there. Basically what these fish are doing, I'm marking them suspended, but I'm in 15 to 20 feet of water, sometimes getting up in the 12 to 14 foot range. But basically these fish are suspended about halfway through the water column. When these schools of little tiny minnows, they might even be fry or swimming over top of them, they're coming up and blowing up on them, and then they're heading straight back down as soon as they get what they want. So you have to be on them right when they're blowing up. That's why I need this long rod here to make super long casts to them, because they don't always come up right beside the boat. It would be nice if they came up right beside the boat, but they're not doing that. I am going to continue to fish it the correct way. But like I said, I'm not getting very many bites when I'm doing that. They're real finicky right now. Just kind of, we got about a 5 mile an hour breeze. So I'm going to have to get this done early, because later on today it's supposed to start blowing 10 to 15. And that tends to knock the schoolers down on this lake. And we're supposed to have a heat index of about 105 today. I don't really want to be out there when it's like that if I'm not guiding. Come on, fish. I'm out here looking like a dork with cameras all over my boat, wearing a chesty, and the fish won't come up. Now this area I'm on right here, there's been some bigger schooling fish. They're definitely more hard to catch because they're just kind of out here roaming around. I know where there's a whole bunch of fish, which I'm trying not to have to resort to catching those, because there's not a lot of big ones in there. You'll get a 3-pounder every once in a while. But I've seen some 6 and 7 plus pounders out here blowing up on bait fish. They're obviously harder to catch. So I see some schoolers over here. I don't know if they'll be there when I get there. Past few days they've been out in this deeper water, out in 20 feet of water, migrating off of this flat out into the 20 feet of openness, of nothingness but bait fish. There's a big flat over here full of pepper grass, scattered pepper grass. There's a few holes in it. There's a big point also that comes about 300 yards out in the lake. I just saw a big school of fish come up, blowing the bait fish out of the water. They'll probably be back over where I was by the time I get there. But I'm gonna fire that in there on top of them, get it up on the surface. Oh, got him. Little guy. It takes one cast, man. Just one. This is a baby. But that's how I've been doing it. Burning it. Can't reel any faster than I'm reeling. Also, an 8-inch bass is about the most dangerous bass you can catch when you have a bait full of treble hooks. A little guy there. See if we can get some bigger ones. Literally, I've thrown Sammys, Zara spooks, a fluke. What else have I thrown? Whopper plopper. All these very popular, very well-known topwater baits. They won't touch them. You'll have 20 fish coming up on the surface blowing shad out of the water. And you throw one of those baits in there and it's like Moses parting the Red Sea. They're gone. You burn this little spy bait across the top of the water, and if you can get in there while they're schooling, while they're actively feeding, they will hit it every single time. I had 2 bites on that one, caught one of them. There's one blew up over here. I missed it. I haven't even been able to see this one. right in the sun. Alright, so my bigger fish spots kind of fizzled out. They are not here like they were a couple days ago. There's a flat full of fish over here. I can see them schooling from here and they're a quarter of a mile away. So I'm gonna run over there. A lot of small fish like the first couple I caught. But I'm gonna show you how my technique works. I got 12-foot talons on this boat. They don't reach in most spots out here, but they will reach up on this flat. So if I get on a big school of fish and I want to stay right there, I'll just put these talons down and it'll hold me right there. Oh, look at them. Bad cast. Oh man, they're all over the place. I'm gonna put my talons down. Get back out there. Oh, there's bite. Come on. They are going nuts. Got to get in on the right ones. One blowing up. Man, they're small. Get right in there on them. Missed them. They are just cluster feeding. They're coming up, blowing up on, you know, they're coming up on schools of several hundred little tiny bait fish. I call it cluster feeding. So about a month ago I did my first how I do it video, or how-to video. It was how I fish a fluke. Shows you how I rig and dead stick a fluke out here. You can go back and watch it. I catch a lot of big fish. I've caught a lot of big fish over the years on it here in Florida and around the country. About 2/3 or 3/4 of the way through that video, I see a 6 to 7 pounder eat my fluke about 10 feet from the boat. Get excited, rookie move, set the hook too hard with not very much line out, break the line. So this is my second how I do it video, showing you how to fish the spybait on schooling fish here in Florida. And they're not schooling that great, although there's a bunch of them blowing up right here. Watch this. Burn it, burn it. There's one. Man, you can't reel it any faster. And that's how you catch giant Florida bass burning a spybait. I will find some bigger fish, but they're letting the kids eat first this morning. Here, fishy, fishy. So, the second how I do it video, ooh, that was a big one, is going to go a lot better than the first one. If I look a big fish, I'm going to put them in the boat. They're going nuts. That's why I got a 112-pound Thrustman Coda on here. I chase these schoolers all summer long. Make sure you have your batteries charged all up. Put this thing up on 100%. You see them schooling, you got to get yourself there. Go boat, go. Gah. There are some better ones in here. I'm just out of range on them. Keep going. Yeah. That one did a cartwheel over it. They're still going. another one. Holy crap. Man, I hope the cameras see this. Look at that. 50 of them out there. I'm gonna catch one on this cast right about, I'm outside of them. Come on. Man, you'd think I'd be more accurate at this casting stuff. And my buddy Gene Jensen, better known as the Fluke Master, also on the 13 Fishing Pro staff with me. He told me as soon as you start doing how-to videos, you're going to get a lot of comments on that's not how you do it. Or I do it this way, or I do it that way. So I'm not doing how-to videos. I'm doing how I do it videos. Because nobody can really tell me how I do it, except for me. A bunch of them right there. Oh, babies. If I did a how-to video, I would be telling you this is how you're supposed to be doing it. But I'm not going to tell you how you're supposed to do something. I'm just showing you how I do something. You might think it's dumb. If you do, don't watch the video. You can always hit pause or back out of it. If you like the videos though, please subscribe to my channel. Chuck Pippin Bass Fishing. There's a better one. Right on the surface. He's not a better one. He's twice the size of the first couple I caught. Burning a spybait. Central Florida. Okay. There are some bigger fish out there. I just gotta land on them. One blew up there. As soon as it hits the water, start burning. So that felt like a better one. He was 13 or 14 inches. It's kind of embarrassing. I may not catch any big fish doing this today. I have caught some decent ones, but at least I'm showing you the technique. You guys may be thinking, well, maybe if I had the light line on here, like everyone suggests fishing it, like the 6 or 8 pound test fluorocarbon, that I may be catching them doing it the conventional style. We got a lot of grass on this lake. I'm outside of it right now. We also have a lot of giant bass. On this chain of lakes here, the Butler chain, in the past 2 years, I've had customers catch a 12-4, we had an 11-7, we had another 12-1, 10-14. I don't know how many fish over 8 pounds. I don't feel like throwing a $15 lure out there on 6 pound test line when I can catch them doing it my way, burning it across the surface. So again, just in case it didn't come out earlier, I have a Duo Realis Spybait or Spinbait, whatever you want to call it. Look at that. Those things about lost the whole thing. I have lost a couple of them because that eye came out. I want to put a little glue in there, hold that in there. Anyway, I got the Duo Realis Spinbait 80, or Spybait as more people call them. I got it on 15 pound test, braided line with a 15-pound test, about a 2.5-foot fluorocarbon leader, not 6-pound test line. And I am burning it across the surface as fast as I can reel it in. Caught 3 so far, missed about 5. Reeling it that fast, man, you're gonna miss some fish, but it is fun. And this is how I've been catching them on the Spinbait or the Spybait. Oh, that was a good one that blew up right there. Back to fishing. Oh, there he is. There's one. Another baby. It is cool watching them. When you're fishing topwater, does it really matter how big they are? I mean, yes, I would love them to be bigger than this, but does it matter? It doesn't to me. I just like watching them blow up on it. And they can't even hardly catch up with this thing. Another little baby, number 4. Actually not as aggressive on it as they have been. And that's because I'm trying to make a video showing how I catch them. But I have found that they will hit pretty well out here, these schooling fish. I learned this, or I've known it for a long time, but we did it yesterday with my customers. It's just a basic black and blue Senko type, 5 or 6 inch Senko type bait, weightless, wacky rigged. Throw it out there where they're schooling, let it sink down, kind of dead sticking it like I did in my fluke video, and they will crush it. But that's not very fun. More fun to catch them on topwater. So I'm out here by myself today, and I'm gonna catch them the way I feel like catching them, even if they are 8 inches long. When you're out here chasing these schoolers, there's a lot of things you want to look for. They are eating little tiny minnows. They're some sort of minnow. I don't know what kind of minnow they are. They might even be bass fry. I haven't really got a good look at them. They're about 1 inch to 1.5 inches long, and they're going by in schools of thousands of them. It's very easy to see where the fish are while they're blowing up on them. Like about 120, 130 yards away from me, there's some fish blowing up on some right now. But what you want to look for are the little disruptions in the water. When those bait fish are all piled up in a big school and the bass are congregating on them to start blowing up on them. I have a little ripple on the water today. It's not dead calm. It's kind of perfect actually. A little ripple on the water, and you'll see these little disruptions in the water where the ripples don't quite match up with what everything else that's going on. And that's where they're getting ready to start blowing up on them. And if you can get in there right before they start blowing up on them, you'll get hit almost every time. Unfortunately, it's happening about 1.5 casts away from me every time. And I'm making some long casts with this rod here. I will figure them out though. There's one right at the boat, right as I was reeling it up. Another giant. There's about 5 or 6 of them just followed it up to the boat there. Super exciting, giant bass. Shows you what kind of spawn we have here. Lots of these little fish. Not too many of them. About 5-6 years from now, I'll be glad to catch a bunch of those each day. When they're 5 or 6 pounds. So, that's about all the time I have today. Hopefully this will be the only video I ever put out with that many little tiny fish or that few fish. But it wasn't about catching fish today. It was about showing you a different way that I learned to catch them on a Spybait or a Spinbait. Again, this is the Spybait or Spinbait 80 from Duo Realis. The color doesn't seem to matter much out here. I'm on the Butler Chain of Lakes, 3rd week in August. Actually, it's the day after the solar eclipse. Maybe that's why they didn't bite so well. just caught a few small fish today. Don't really care. Burning it on top of the water. Did catch a couple fishing it the conventional style. I'm not throwing it on 8-pound or 6-pound fluorocarbon. I'm throwing it on 15-pound fluorocarbon attached to 15-pound braid. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. If you have any suggestions on future videos you'd like me to make, feel free to comment. Send me a text message even. You can go to my website at chucksguideservice.com. That's chucksguideservice.com. Please like and subscribe to my channel, Chuck Pippin Bass Fishing. Coming up here shortly with 13 Fishing, we're going to be doing a giveaway. I'm not real sure what we're going to be giving away, but it's going to be one of their new products, maybe a new Fate Black or one of these new Source X or K spinning reels, or it might even be a Concept Z. We'll be doing that giveaway here in about a month, I think. I'm going to give it away to any of my subscribers, people that are already subscribed or any new subscribers. So don't wait to subscribe. Go ahead and subscribe now so you don't miss out on that video when we do the giveaway. And hope you keep watching.